A well-behaved woman is trim and proper. Chores always done, not a hair out of place. When the husband comes home, she greets him with a smile.
I'm sorry, what the fuck?
Are you tired of Hitler?
I feel no shame.
Okay, one liar as a kid can find another liar.
I want that stricken from the record.
How else is she gonna learn if she doesn't have a feather?
I could go fuck in the big house.
You're a mess, girl. I am here to audition for Babysitter's Club extras.
I brought my own hammer.
I feel like that was literally the middle of a sentence that you had already been saying.
I know, but it just, I just was like instantly back to Pokemon.
The giant ones, you mean?
Yeah, that was pretty fun. I'm going to be doing a few more.
Dynamic.
Yeah. What do you think about the Terrasta? Basically, like,
It's okay.
it's not, they gave up on Mega Evolutions.
Yeah.
They're never bringing that back?
So, the thing about Pokemon, I don't know if you know this already or not. After the first... I think after the second gen, they made... Every generation after that has, like, its own, like, gimmick.
Uh-huh.
You know?
Yeah.
So... They had the Mega Evolutions, then they had the Giga something,
Yeah.
and there was VMAX.
Oh, the Z moves. Yeah.
Z moves was a thing. So like every generation has its own like gimmick. So I think after this one they'll do something different with the next.
Yeah, it's like the region specific or something because it sounded like they made it
exactly
seem region specific.
Yeah, it'll be something that you can only do in that game.
Yeah. They brought back Drowsy, which was lovely. Drowsy's back in there. Arceus brought back...
There's a lot of good Gen 1s in there.
Yeah. Arceus brought back Paris and Parasect, which were very annoying. They were everywhere.
Giant
and
crab mushrooms.
I didn't expect them to be so vicious.
I wish their stats were better because the design of Parasect is really beautiful.
He could use like
It's
a
like
little
a hermit crab.
spice.
It's a giant hermit crab that uses an even bigger mushroom as a shell.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
great.
That's cute.
Yeah, there's a lot of cute Pokemon too.
Do we want to do a show?
Yeah,
wanna
we
do a
should
show.
probably do that.
Welcome back. If you're joining us for the first time, welcome to another episode of Well-Behaved Women. I'm your host, B, joined as always by my lovely co-hosts, Zombie Hannah Moses. And
You're welcome.
The hostess with the mostest, Lauren.
Hi.
Lauren Chill. How's everybody doing?
Hi, Lauren.
I'm cold, but I'm doing well.
It's chilly in the
chilly.
lab.
It's okay. I got my little blanket
cold
on.
today,
We're going to
sorry.
warm up in here because we got blankets everywhere.
Yeah.
And the laughs.
Our laughter will keep us warm.
Yes. In these dark, dreary, overcast times.
Yeah.
It's like 34 degrees out and cloudy as shit. It's supposed to snow today, so.
Oh, fuck, that's right.
Yeah, it kind of looks like it. It was foggy on my drive-in.
Does it smell like Greeley?
I don't know.
yet.
What's
Not
really?
yet.
Not yet.
What does Greeley smell
Smells
like?
like cows and boiling blood.
Oh.
Yeah.
Ew.
Greeley's...
Hey, the night. Welcome to the party.
It's
I lived
a...
up there for a while.
It was something
fuck?
that somebody told me when I first moved out here. Like, you'll know it's going to snow if it smells like Greeley. And I was like,
Yep.
what the hell? And I
you
asked
go to
my
Greeley.
dad, what's Greeley? And he goes, well, he lived near Greeley
He said,
once.
don't go to Greeley.
Yeah, he goes, I don't remember those
Has
times.
those traumatic things just kind of coming in
blocked
like like a war memory.
Yeah.
Oh, Terry.
But he told me it was like a meat processing area, slaughter
there's
area.
a huge slaughterhouse.
Yeah.
I gotcha.
So it smells like death.
Yeah, where they boil the blood down after they
I
drain
gotcha.
it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah, it's crazy.
It's because we're downwind, I think.
Yes, it is.
Thank you.
Well, what are we learning about today?
We are going to learn about another bitch in history.
Whoa,
A bitch?
Is she good or evil?
Is it like
We'll figure
bitch,
that out.
or is it like bitch?
Okay, you know what? Bitch or bitch is the game we play today, okay?
Bitch
But you
or
said that? You said,
bitch.
You said bitch?
I said bitch.
You said bitch?
I said bitch or bitch.
All-time sketch.
I said bitch.
You called her a bitch? Huh?
Bitch.
You said that?
Like you said that? Yeah, I said it.
Oh, God.
Key and Peele forever.
Hit it.
Love them.
Amazing.
All right, we're getting distracted.
You're fine. Key was on an NPR conversation
Nice.
a little while ago, and he just I always love hearing him
Yeah.
interact with people.
I love him
when
as
he's
a
not on
performer.
screen. Like
Right.
he's an
Writer.
amazingly smart guy.
Keegan.
Michael Key.
Mr. Key.
All right, can we get an on this? Yeah.
On this year in history.
Christopher Columbus predicts correctly a leap day lunar eclipse in an attempt to gain supplies from the Jamaicans because he and his men are stranded on their island.
Loser.
I know.
Dumbass.
He's like giving a trade-off, basically, and then they can treat him like a god because how could anyone have seen this coming?
I'll give you space knowledge for money. Get me out of here.
Yep, pretty much. Michelangelo's David is unveiled in Florence.
I mean, that should be a big
And
giveaway.
unveiled it is. Indeed.
Woo!
Woo!
Hey!
The siege of Cochin, Cochin, in India, by the invading forces of Calicut ends as the Portuguese and Cochin defenders defeat the invaders. Calicut loses 5,000 dead in battle and another 13,000 to disease, while Cochin and Portugal sustain minimal losses.
Yeah, of course.
Rough.
Yeah, duh. What do we got?
Ladies first.
I'm trying to think, because, like, as soon as you hear Columbus, you think 1492. But I have a feeling it's not. If he's already in
Well,
the Jamaican
what did he
islands,
do in 1492?
sailed the ocean blue
Thank you. I just needed
to
you to hear
commit
it.
genocide.
To commit a lot of genocide,
Yeah.
for sure.
To start, anyway.
Yeah. But, like, I'm thinking if he's already to the point of Jamaican islands, you said, I'm guessing he's already made it there.
He's already sailed the ocean blue.
He's already sailed the ocean blue.
Okay.
Because although I'm bad at geography, this is getting messy, guys. I'm gonna just guess my original thought, 1501.
Okay. What about you?
I'm going to say it's 1495.
Ooh, we're close to each other.
Pretty close, yeah. But
No, we're both wrong.
Actually,
be
1492.
lost.
Oh, really?
Be
What year
lost.
is
Be
it?
lost.
What about me?
You got 3 years off. It was 1504.
Wow.
You're very close.
I thought we both
You're very
lost.
close.
He's been there for a minute.
Yep.
Hey.
Well, it didn't. He couldn't sail it in like a year. It took a while. And
think he was
was
trying to get
kinda
out
all
of there.
over the place. He got into the West Indies. He got lost a
A
few
lot
times.
of people were mad at him.
Right.
I don't know my art history as well either.
Doesn't matter.
I don't know shit about art history. I just guessed.
I'll tell you something. Unless you work specifically in that field, no art history knowledge will ever do you any good.
Yeah.
But
Except
it's
for like
so
trivia at bars.
fascinating.
It is fascinating.
It's for
But-
personal growth.
There you go.
That's
Okay.
how I'm looking at it.
Or if you're like going to be a librarian of art history.
Yes.
That's about it.
Maybe that as well.
Anastasia, or Alexandra Lisovsky, was born in Ruthenia.
Those aren't the same name.
No, they're not. Either Alexandra or Anastasia.
Close. They just start with A.
Yep.
Huh.
Yep.
Well, the end in it. No.
What?
Yeah, you're right.
Okay.
They do both start and end with A, but that's about all they have in common.
Yeah. Very different regions those names come from.
No, I mean, they're both like, northwestern European, or northeastern, I mean.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah. So she was born in Ruthenia, also known as Kievan Rus, which is basically all of the Eastern Europe and Western Asian area.
Yeah.
Okay. And anytime I hear that, I think Ukraine, though. How accurate would that
Pretty
be?
close to there.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, Kiev,
Yep.
That's what I figured.
Yeah.
It's in Ukraine.
Yeah.
Modern day Ukraine.
Yeah, exactly. It
That's what I
wasn't
should be
Ukraine
saying.
yet.
Exactly, but that's where it would be right now.
Okay, excellent. Thank you.
We also aren't really sure that Anastasia or Alexandra was her real name, so we
Bitch.
literally
Well,
just
there's
took
two
a guess.
different names. It's probably fucking something else entirely.
Yeah, it's
Girl.
probably
Does it even start with A at all?
no, not
It's
even a little bit.
B name.
Right.
That bitch. I'm just kidding.
So she was born to a Ruthenian Orthodox priest, and that's pretty much everything we know about her origin.
Wow.
Is maybe a name, her last name from the priest that was her father, and the city she was born in.
Was this a scandalous thing for this priest to have a child?
No, he'd
okay.
been married and stuff.
Oh,
so
okay.
I think at
I
that
wasn't
point,
sure.
I think those Orthodox priests could get married and have kids. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know.
Some
Orthodox.
can, some can't.
Yeah, I'm very out of my depth when it comes to the differences between the sects of religions.
Once I stepped away, I just stopped caring about all of it.
Yeah, fair.
That's because this is during the time of slave raids.
Oh, shit.
What?
Slave raids.
Oh, slave raids.
Yes.
Tell me more.
Slave raids.
The
Yeah.
Great Slave Raids. The Byzantine Empire had ended within the last century, and the Ottoman Empire was growing and expanding. And what do you need for vast expansion?
Slaves.
Slaves.
Particularly hard labor.
Yep.
I was gonna
Humans
say
to work.
donkeys.
Nope, humans. Humans with opposable
Human
thumbs.
donkeys.
What if I don't want to?
Human donkeys with opposable thumbs to work for you or have your kids or
it's the
whatever
human
else you'd need
part.
them to
It's
do.
the human part that I'm rejecting.
We've been through this.
Damn it.
Yeah.
I'll try again next year. Yeah, exactly.
Slave raids were carried out by smaller groups under the full approval of the larger Ottoman Empire. They didn't ask how, they asked how many.
Great.
And one of those that got taken was Anastasia, or Alexandra, or something else.
Let's just call her A.
A. Lusovsky.
Yeah, A. That works for now.
All right.
A for anonymous, because we don't really know who she is.
Okay, so one of those girls that got taken was anonymous. She was somewhere between 8 and 16 when it happened. We really don't even know the year. Like, it could have been
Her age is
almost
anonymous.
a decade of range.
No
Wow.
shit. That was a good one.
She was generally a person.
She was alive.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's it.
she existed.
Yeah.
Exactly.
She had a
She
Or-
was there.
She was there.
She could basically be in the yearbook if we had yearbooks. She'd be there.
She was separated from her family at that point, and then she never saw them again.
Damn.
Which is super depressing.
Yeah, that's really rough.
The journey from Lviv, where she was taken, so she was born in Lviv, which is now around Kiev, or is in Ukraine, I think. That was one of the places that Russia tried to annex recently.
Yeah.
The journey from Lviv, where she was taken down to Constantinople, took some time, but she was treated very well.
Was it Istanbul or Constantinople?
Well, now it's Istanbul, not Constantinople.
But back then it was Constantinople.
So if you have a date in Constantinople, she'll be waiting in Istanbul.
Boom.
Had to do it.
Nice.
Every time.
You gotta. I think that's like maybe the fourth time we've mentioned Constantinople in this show,
It's
and
going to happen.
yeah, every time.
Just accept it.
Just a legendary song. There aren't
Right.
many
Best bit
legendary
in the
songs.
show.
Yeah. So she was treated really well for a slave, and that's because she was basically a triple threat for these traders, right?
Ooh.
So she was a young woman, or getting there. That means
We're
you
not
can
sure
make
still.
her a concubine or a wife or a whatever
Yeah,
for
she's
a
got
price.
reproductive possibilities.
She got reproductive value, right. She's also in good physical condition, so you could get work out of her. If she wasn't married off, she could
Yeah.
be sold off to be like, a maid or
You
whatever.
ain't sickly, is
She
you?
could carry the
Ain't sickly.
groceries in on one trip.
Also, she
Never
had
second trips.
No.
what?
Said never second trip.
Nope. Break my arm first.
I refuse.
I'll die. I'll die out here.
I really like the reusable bags because now I can stuff way more groceries into way fewer sacks
Yep.
True.
Stuff that in your sack.
and carry it. So the third thing was that she had pale skin and red hair, which was super rare in Constantinople, and it would fetch a really hefty sum.
You're rare, B.
Yep.
Tell me something I don't know.
So she gets to Constantinople and she's let up on this fucking block for selection like a vending machine. And this woman looks at her and she goes, yeah, that one right there, her.
I want to braid her hair.
So turns out this woman that picks her is named Hafsa Sultan, and she is the wife of the current ruler of the fucking Ottoman Empire.
Well,
Well,
The same sultan who had raiders take Alexandra from her home. Sorry, anonymous.
that's okay. I'm joking. You don't have to call her anonymous. Thank you for humoring me.
did either of your grandparents ever say the phrase queer is a $3 bill?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. All right.
I don't know if they said queer, but they said like something else.
Something?
I can't remember.
Okay.
Like screwy
That's what- I
or
almost
Yeah.
said that when I said before I said what I said earlier. I don't know if that'll land.
My mom, has taken a long time to kind of go from like where she was just not tolerant at all of LGBTQ people to like now she's got family members and like friends that are all members of the community. But
Good journey for her.
It was definitely a journey for her. It was her figuring out that one of her cousins was actually trans. But in high school, we had these neighbors that moved in, and it was a gay couple, and they were life partners. And she would make all these jokes thinking that she was like well-intentioned but also highly
Thinking she was
offensive
being
jokes.
funny.
Yes, about them being queer as a $3 bill. And I'm like, Mom, you can't.
Yeah.
You
There's a
Mom.
there's a guy that I work with that calls his lady his life partner, and he just sounds like he's saying he's gay every time. And then he clarifies, because I mean, like at his age and they've been together for so long, like saying my girlfriend is whatever, like he's did the married thing, didn't work out, didn't do it again, respect, like I get it. But every time he says life partner, he's like, my girlfriend. I'm like, no, I understand.
What if he just said partner?
Yeah, right.
Because, like,
I think it's the life
Gary,
part
my
that
partner.
makes
It's
it
the
sound
life
extra
partner
gay.
part, because that was a very
Yeah.
specific period of time where now most people say
get-
or
I get what you're
spouse.
trying
Or I
to
guess you
say.
can't say spouse, but I mean, you might as well. They're basically common law married, right?
Common law's not a thing in Colorado.
Oh, I didn't know that.
But yeah.
Never mind.
Yeah. Learn something new every day.
Yes, I did. Changed a few plans.
What
It's
were
all
you
the same
planning on
manager.
doing?
I'm joking. But I was thinking, like, maybe
Just gonna
like,
move in and just common law marry someone.
if I built my own little tiny home commune, then yeah, maybe someday I'd want my own life partner.
It's like a 10-way
But I'd
couple
also
where
want
all the people
married
live on the
benefits.
commune are like, yeah.
Or a common law thruple.
Polyamorous something.
God.
Or a collective.
Conglomerate, yeah. Speaking of a collective,
A polycule is what it's
have
called.
we watched Love Has Won on HBO?
No.
No, is that the...
Oh my God.
Oh, no. What is this?
It's this crazy woman who's dead now who claimed that she was the second coming of Jesus
Oh.
and called herself Mother God, this white woman.
I think I've heard about it.
Oh, it's amazing. It's a 3-parter.
I've been wanting to do an episode on cult stuff, like
Yes.
a female-led cult.
There's a
thing.
few. This would be a perfect
That
example.
would be great.
It could
All
be
right,
like
don't
a
do any
rewatch-
research.
A
I
rewatch
won't.
pod, yeah, for sure.
That'd be great.
Dun, dun,
Anyway, we're back to
Yes, yes.
anonymous.
Tell us
Egypt.
Tell us about not Anastasia,
Not Anastasia Alexandra
yeah.
Lisovsky.
who may or may not be 8 or 16.
Yeah. Whatever age she was, Hafsa Sultan, so the wife of the Sultan, she picks this lady and she's like, all right, you're coming with me. And so they go back to her castle and they realize that Hafsa Sultan is not like buying her for herself. It was a gift for her son,
Oh.
who was the up and coming Sultan.
Weird.
Like
As a wife?
as
Concubine?
around that year.
Yes.
Yeah, as a concubine.
As
As
a
a love
concubine.
slave.
Yeah.
Okay. She's like, you get a red-haired one.
Yeah, she wrapped her up, put a little bow on it.
Yeah. It's a shiny. It's a shiny edition. We always bring it back to Pokemon, and this is bad.
Listen, someday people will realize redheads are great. Until then, we're gonna die out.
I'm telling you, I always wanted to be a redhead. I used to dated a few redheads. I think red hair's amazing, and I'm jealous.
Yeah, that's fine.
So Hafsa Sultan was paired and mated with Selim I, who was the Sultan of the empire at that point, and together they had a boy named Suleiman.
Solomon.
Yep. Suleiman or Solomon was coming up in the world, and he already had a nice little size harem of concubines to give him sons. And there were something like 18 or 19 of these women already.
Jeez.
Yeah.
It's got like a couple sports teams in there.
Oh,
Well.
for sure, yeah.
You know, you figure if 17 of them aren't in the mood, maybe one of them is.
Yeah, it's a numbers game.
It is. It literally, it's a numbers
no.
game.
Now you're getting
It
it.
is.
The more
It's
the
about
merrier.
it's about numbers of partners and of kids
Yeah,
that come from
surviving
those
children.
partners. Yeah, you've got a
Listen,
huge
you don't
infant
want
mortality
the Sultan
rate.
striking out, do you?
Nah,
Then he'll just be angry.
he's
Yeah.
got to get sons somehow. And at the time, sultans didn't see the need to marry anybody because the rulership was passed down through male lineage.
Yeah,
So
they're
basically, whoever had the first baby boy was like the concubine.
Number one.
Yeah, basically.
What a reality show that would be.
What?
What a reality show that would be.
I know.
Concubines Club.
Oh, man.
Oh my God! Real
Fucking-
concubines of
Yeah, of Arabia? I don't know.
Yeah, it's another franchise.
we did Real Concubines of China.
Yeah, the
Oh.
Forbidden City.
Yes.
The Forbidden City, that's right.
Real concubines of Constantinople.
First,
Yeah.
yes, there you go.
Yeah.
First one to have a boy wins. Ladies!
Start your wounds.
That's right.
Spread your legs. It's time.
She's like kicking up her leg, revving the engine. It's like a rally race to the bedroom until one of them gets there.
Looks like Elena wants to drop the tranny.
Oh. It could mean so many things that you just said.
That's why it's funny.
Oh no, it's not a word.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it's a transmission.
Transmission.
For a car. They're cars.
Transmission,
Yeah.
true, yeah, but you know,
But it's just...
I know, I get the
It's
joke.
called wordplay.
All right, I'm gonna move on.
Well, now I just have like an idea, like an image in my head of like those lines of like dancers, the
Just
kick
drops
and
a
dance,
muffler
like
on
the
the way
can dancers with their legs that get spread, but then they're like now down on their backs like synchronized swimmers where their legs all kind of spread out, and he's just like going down the line in a big, in a big song.
guys, what minds do we have here?
sensitive.
I'm not sensitive. I'm just like
Your poor little innocent mind.
My
It's
virgin
not
ears.
innocent. You're
We got to get her a pair of set of pearls so she can clutch them.
Oh, I do need some clutch and pearls. Some white gloves,
My
little
lordy.
handkerchief.
That's fucking hilarious.
No, not innocent. Just going wow, crude.
So Suleiman had 4 children by this point, 3 boys and 1 little girl.
Oh, good for her.
This meant that the lineage was secure, and one of these boys was to ascend to the throne.
So she's like, I feel like I've done. Now I can go make some purchases. Horrible.
Yep.
They're
Hey, if
people.
your brother dies, you're up next. Look alive.
Wow, the competition.
Pretty much, it was literally just like that. It was like you're waiting in the wings, and you don't have to do fuck all until the time. That was that's part of kind of the reason why Queen Elizabeth's dad had such a hard time being like king, because he wasn't
supposed to be,
prepared
yeah.
in the same
No.
way that his brother had been.
Yeah.
Yeah. So his lineage was secure. One of these boys would ascend to the throne. One of them will make it, right?
Yeah.
Hopefully.
But then in the same year that he became Kanuni Sultan Suleiman,
Kanuni.
I'm just going to keep calling him Suleiman, but it's Kanuni Sultan. It's a whole
Title.
It's
title.
a mouthful.
And I'm trying to pronounce them the right way, but I'm
Suleiman.
probably getting it all wrong.
We'll call him Sully.
Sully.
Sully, I like it. Okay.
Oh, that's perfect.
All
All
right.
I think of now is Sully, Monsters Inc.
Yep. So in the same year that he became sultan, Sully suffered the loss of 3 of his children. The only daughter that he had.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. The only daughter that he had and 2 of his 3
What
sons.
the hell happened?
Jeez. Disease?
Who the fuck knows? They were little.
They don't even say.
Infant mortality rate are huge, like through the fucking roof, and
There you
kids
go.
just die.
Yeah.
Whatever. Moving
Yep.
on.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Well, and so because of all of that death, it meant that a relatively unimportant concubine named Mahi Devran, or Gulbahar, was suddenly the mother to Suleiman's only living son.
Oh,
All right.
you are ascended.
When Anonymous joined the harem, it was around the same time that that Sully had risen to the sultancy.
Calling her anonymous.
We'll get there.
Sounds like we're talking about the person who started QAnon.
That's Queen Anonymous to you.
That's true.
Queen Anonymous.
QAnon.
Oh my God! No!
Queen
Ha-ha! I knew it.
Oh,
right.
so sensitive. No, I'm just kidding. Oh, sorry.
When Alexander joined the harem, it was around the same time that he had risen to the sultancy. So Sully was immediately taken with this little girl. This little girl.
Yes.
She was still a minor, even if she was
That's why I
16 by the
gasped,
time
'cause
she
it's
She was a
gross.
shiny.
So he was taken with her. I'm hoping for the best and basically saying like I'm hoping that she was 16 when this happened,
Yeah.
because any younger and it's just real bad. Anyway,
Yep.
but whatever it was, whenever she joined, he gave her a new name.
Oh,
So it doesn't matter what we were calling her.
True.
Because her new name is Hurrem Sultan.
Aha. Hurrem in the harem.
Yeah.
Hurrem in the harem. And that's a word for Persian Khorram, meaning the cheerful one.
Ah. Ah, so she had a bubbly personality, I think.
Basically, yeah, she had a really great demeanor. She was nice to everyone around her, no matter their station, and was just a cheery person.
Smiley.
Okay.
Yeah.
We like her so far.
Yes.
Loving her.
Hurrem was also into art, poetry, music, all that amazing, awesome, creative crap, you know?
Girly things.
And guess what? Sully liked it too. He was into all that crap
Oh,
too.
not just girly things.
Not just girly things, cutesy couple things, artsy things.
Nice.
So she started having his kids, and she quickly became his favorite concubine.
Number one.
Yep.
Well, yeah, you got some shared hobbies.
She had more than one kid, even though her first was a boy, which was really,
yeah.
really unheard of at the time. You had one boy.
Sure.
Yeah, you have one boy, and then you're done because, like, that's
Like
the
you
one
fulfilled
brother.
your purpose.
Yeah, exactly.
That's your representative of the next generation.
Right.
She said,
But
"I like
he
having
liked
babies."
her.
But she just, she kept popping him out. And other than Mahi Devran, Suleiman only slept with Hurrem, and that must have just pissed off the rest of the
I
harem.
imagine.
Like, she was kind of known for
Waiting every
also
night.
kind of being like the antagonist to the harem and the antagonist to Mahi Devran.
He's playing favorites. He's got to.
He
He's
is.
not going to be a great
Big
ruler,
time.
man.
Main
Yeah.
bitch.
He doesn't. That doesn't bode well.
No, it gets worse because her allowance. Okay, most of these women got like 4 or 5. Their units were called aspers, so
Okay.
maybe got 4 or 5 aspers a day. Hurrem earned 2,000 a day.
Whoa,
Yeah.
they're like 0.2% of his favor.
That pussy banging.
It must be. Did you say that?
Is it pussy so good?
It's already in there.
It's in the show notes.
Oh,
Predictive
God.
reasoning.
So, yeah, we got.
Wowee. Good for him.
He got lots of babies
Yeah.
with this lady.
Smitten
Schmitten with an artsy, fartsy poet like himself.
with a babe.
Oh, looking at that. News.
Meanwhile, in Europe, Asia,
in the media.
elsewhere, in Europe, Asia, and Africa.
Whoa.
Right. It's a big area.
Meanwhile, in the Eastern Hemisphere.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, in the Ottoman Empire, I
Yeah,
guess I
yeah.
should
Yeah.
have said.
Yeah.
So, Sully is kicking ass. He's conquering like no one's fucking business.
Oh, okay, he's
This is
doing
during
well.
one of the largest and fastest expansions of the Ottoman Empire in their entire existence. He took over in 1520, and within a decade, he had led campaigns against the Christian powers in Central Europe and in the Mediterranean. He
Damn.
took a little place called Belgrade in a year.
Belgrade.
Belgrade.
This is mine now.
This is mine.
Shit.
The island of Rhodes came next in about 2 years.
Okay.
And by 1526, he'd conquered Hungary,
Oh, fuck.
the country and the
Fuck.
kingdom at that point.
Yes, I am the Sultan. It is me.
Around this time, Suleiman and Hurrem became basically monogamous.
All right. What happened to the rest of the girls? They go to like a special camp.
Actually, so the pattern was that basically if you had boys, you grew up, they would grow up, and when they grew up, you would move out of the castle or
Right.
out of whatever, out
You
of the
have your own
harem.
household.
And you would go to a different city and become like a governor of that
Oh,
area,
okay.
and then the mom would go with you and live
Oh,
there
so
until
they were
she was
busy.
old.
They probably didn't care anymore.
Basically, like you did your job, you created your person.
You put in
now
your
go
time.
now go live with them.
You did your sentence.
Once your
Yes.
son is old enough to work as an official to the Sultan, then you just live off of him.
See, I
Right.
thought they all just moved to a hotel on the coast and just lived it out.
Just dump
That'd
them
be
in
nice.
a hole. There's just a hole in the floor
Just
of the
a hole.
castle. They just push broom them into the hole.
They just like get a little like squeegee and they just push forward
Yeah.
someone's food into their mouth.
There's a ranker down there. He'll take
Oh,
care
okay.
of him.
Yep.
You know.
There's a little switch that you like flip so that you can, it's automatic suction.
Oh god.
Puts them in. Yeah.
Nice vacuum chamber. Cool.
Yeah, for sure.
Right on.
Only by 1529 did he get paused in his conquests
Whoa.
up on the border of Vienna.
Ooh.
To this day, I think Sully, during his reign of like 46 years, has had the most land conquered, like
Wow.
of any sultan.
Okay, I take back what I
quite a
said.
bit.
Just because he's, a nice artsy boy doesn't mean he can't conquer.
yeah, he knew how to command legions.
Damn
for
straight.
sure.
The original everyman.
Yeah.
The controller of every man.
Hey,
yeah.
whatever.
Sully and Hurrem had 6 children, 5 of whom were boys.
Whoa.
Damn.
Yeah, this was a big no-no,
Rest
like
of
I
those
said.
concubines are not getting anything.
Nothing.
Nothing.
No, she's got all the potential
She
emperors.
made sure.
She made sure, and like I said, they're only supposed to have like 1 son per concubine, but Sully and they called him Suleiman the Magnificent.
Okay.
So Sully the Magnificent and Hurrem were in love, so they were able to keep having kids because
Yeah,
he
of
could
course.
just do what he wanted, you know?
Probably comes home and he's like, L is for the way you look at me.
O is for the ovum in your ovaries.
Hey! What's the V for?
V's the second letter in ovaries.
Oh, you could have gone vagina.
No, that's all right.
And E is for...
Endoscopy.
Hey!
Ouch.
Anyway,
E is for epidural.
E is for epidural, please.
Yeah,
it
there
is.
it is.
Anyway,
All
so
right.
they're in love. They keep having kids, and the other concubine, Mahi Devran, she's devastated by this because now Hurrem has officially she has sons, and they can rule. And having more than one son kind of solidified her lineage a lot more than Mahi Devran's puny one son. You know, she just
Yeah.
had one. Boo. So one of Hurrem's sons died at like 3 years old, which was tragic, but also for 5 out of 6 kids surviving into adulthood.
Yeah.
The 1520s, that's an amazing success rate.
I know, but at 3.
It is still
young.
devastating.
Yeah.
But God, like Sully had lost a bunch of kids by this point because
Well,
there had
yeah.
been quite a few women that had lost
Again,
kids.
a numbers game. He was bound to have.
It's a numbers game. Even though Hafsa Sultan tried to keep the peace between these 2 concubines, tensions rose and rose and rose.
Yay.
A fight broke out between the 2, and
What? Chick fight.
girl fight! Mahi Devran beat Hurrem, probably punched her a few times or hurt her
Whoa.
somehow.
Wow.
Damn.
Whatever it was, she handily won the fight.
Jealous.
But it was the wrong thing to do because
Yeah.
she fucked up big time. When this happened, Sully came to Hurrem's defense immediately, no matter
Yeah.
what the cause
Yeah.
was.
I mean,
you
this
know?
girl
You
knew
get
she had
kicked out.
nothing to lose.
He literally sent her and her son out of town to a remote post. It was like,
Vanished.
yep,
Oh, yeah.
it's your time. Go be a governor somewhere.
Leave now.
And it was a common practice, but it was just still a slap in the face, like to be
Yeah.
kicked out of the home
maybe
that
she
they'd
shouldn't
known.
have slapped homegirl in the face.
Like, yeah.
While she and her son went away and he began a post as some sort of diplomat or something, not in Constantinople.
Yeah, nowhere near the real stuff.
Hurrem not only got to stay in the city, she pretty much stayed in the palace of the Sultan himself.
Yeah, she moved in. They're
She did.
shacking up now.
Yeah. The common practice was when the kid of the concubine got to be like 16 or 17, they moved out. I mentioned that for their like official jobs, their official governance or
At
diplomatic
16,
or whatever.
they're diplomats.
Yeah.
You are a man now. Get the job.
You're a man, go govern. Wait, that went Scottish, sorry.
Ah.
You're a
Accents.
man, Scotty.
Go govern, you lad. So let's talk about the Sultanate for just a minute. So this is the governing body that works around the Sultan.
Sultanette? Is that
Okay.
what you
The
call it?
Sultanate, yeah, it's like it's like him and his council,
His
or whatever.
cabinet.
Yes, yes.
His cabinet, right. There's obviously the big guy, Suleiman the Magnificent, but there's also councils and advisors and commanders and all that.
Uh-huh.
So one of the big positions of influence is the Sultan Mother, or the Valide Sultan. This is the position of mom, like the Empress Dowager
Queen
Zushi. Yep. Or Queen Maria Eleonora, who never actually got that position. She just wanted it.
Oh.
It's sushi for me.
Hafsa Sultan took that role very seriously, and she worked with her son on his governance and advised him on matters of state. It was a fairly common practice, and mothers, especially the concubines of sultans, were well informed on the state and war matters because, you know, sultans have big mouths and like to, you know, nice pillow talk or whatever.
Yeah.
So they were pretty well informed on all of this stuff, and they usually had a calmer view of things than this, you know, hothead. So their outside perspectives were really able to allow clear heads to prevail, plan, and usually come out on top.
Yeah, someone to hold them back.
Yes. And she was actually the first woman to serve as this role. So this was like the first time it had existed. And I don't think it's a coincidence that this is also the same time that they're having the most success in their expansion. As Suleiman grew into his role, the position of advisor shifted somewhat. It had focused on his mother, but as Hafsa got older, Mahidevran would come in and she would join some of the meetings, right?
Okay.
So by 1534, the mom died, and Mahidevran had long since been just pushed off to the side. She's like, I don't care about you either. I've been
old now.
literally.
I got other problems.
So it's Hurrem Sultana's turn now. Woo! She starts sitting in on meetings for matters of state, and her advice is listened to.
Excellent.
Not only that, but at some point when the harem burned down, Hurrem officially moved into the palace, which is a big deal because that's where governance is done, not where sexy times are had.
Not where sexy times are
Says you.
had.
Well,
We're
she
changing
moved
that.
in, and Suleiman's like, what? Come at me. Fight me, bro.
American
Like, I'm going to
government.
fuck her here.
Literally come at me.
Yeah, come at me. I'm going to get you.
I'm a kid.
I didn't say it.
At some point, and it's not really quite specified when, Sully breaks another huge tradition, and he marries Hurrem.
Whoa.
He marries her, which is crazy. I mentioned this before. They don't really see the point in marriage. And she had all of his boys, or most of his boys, so like it really didn't matter. But they got married, which was an extra stamp of like, this is my favorite woman.
Legit.
Yeah.
This is the one. And it wasn't like, let's go to the courthouse and just fill out paper to work to make an official.
Big old ceremony.
It was a huge lavish affair. Yeah, he went all out.
You want to buy those tickets? Yeah, I want to go.
I bought that ticket. I want to take that ride, and I bought
got
those tickets.
2 Aspers. Let's go.
Yep. He also wrote poetry about Hurrem.
Sensitive boy.
He did. He couldn't write under his own name.
Oh, of course.
Illiterate boy who's sensitive and wants to try anyway.
No, it wasn't that. He didn't want to like let people know that it was the Sultan that was writing this shit. So he had a pen name that he used.
Never
called
mind.
Muhibi.
Called what?
Muhibi.
Muhibi.
Do you want to read as Muhibi?
Muhibi.
Moohie baby.
Throne of my lonely niche, my wealth, my love, my moonlight, my most sincere friend, my confidant, my very existence, my sultan, my one and only love, the most beautiful among the beautiful, my springtime, my merry-faced love, my daytime, my sweetheart, laughing leaf, my plants, my sweet, my rose, the only one who does not distress me in this world, my Istanbul, my Karaman, the earth of my Anatolia, my Badakhshan, my Baghdad and Khorasan, my woman of the beautiful hair, my love of the slanted brow, my love of eyes full of mischief. I'll sing your praises always. I, lover of the tormented heart, Muhibi of the eyes full of tears. I am happy.
Wow, fuck me up. That is beautiful.
It's
Wasn't
all
it?
right. The English translation is terrible.
For sure.
I
He's
bet-
coming in with critiques. It's the most wholesome thing I've
No,
ever heard.
I just mean like anytime art is done, it's always
Yeah.
most beautiful in its
Oh, very
original
much so.
language.
Well, true.
So
yes,
I'm
okay.
just saying I would like to hear what it would sound like then because it wouldn't be in
True,
English.
true.
Right,
We don't
for
know
sure.
the accent. Now, slanted brow makes me think she had arched eyebrows.
Yeah, she was a babe.
She had a
Or she
mischievous
could
grin.
raise one eyebrow and just like control
Maybe
him
she,
with a.
and nobody's
just a
ever
little
seen
look.
that before.
She invented the one brow look.
She invented the
Uh-huh.
look. Or excuse me.
It is I. Will he be one brow?
No, Muhibi. The one brow.
Maybe one brow. And Hurrem two brows.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Queen of two brows.
Queen of two brows.
I will say though, for the one brow, I will make an argument. At one point, there was the most influential, most like the first influence of Ziryab, Apparently he had a unibrow and everybody loved it, so they tried to make their own unibrows.
Iconic.
What?
Just
Yeah.
making a unibrow popular.
Nice.
This leader.
That's awesome.
Not a leader. He was a servant. He was like a singer.
A pop culture trendsetter then.
Yes.
A leader in
Exactly.
a social leader.
Nice.
And so I'm just saying, one brows can, sometimes it's an attractive trait.
Anthony Davis. Lakers. The brows, what they call him.
Is that what they call him?
Yeah.
Excellent. I like that for him, as long as he likes it, because then otherwise that would be cruel.
I mean, it's a pretty fat unibrow. It's
You can't miss it,
yeah,
but
right. It's there.
and that's excellent.
Kind of have to embrace it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or you're waxing it like every week.
Ouch.
To try and
He's
hide that
also
shit.
like 6'10". He's a huge.
I mean, at
he's
that
a large
point-
man.
Yeah.
You don't really need to.
Yeah.
You're too tall. Mm-hmm. I mean, tell them to come say it to your face, and they can't. So,
You have to look down on me to do it.
yeah. Exactly.
I would be okay with that.
Yeah.
Hi, what's up?
Yeah.
Sully and Hurrem also love to wax eloquent about the fact that they loved each other.
Whoa.
Wax. Sorry.
An eloquent,
Having trouble moving topics.
a very eloquent waxing.
A very eloquent waxing.
They have music. Da- like with tea. All right, sorry.
Yeah, so going back to like her origin, yeah, she got taken away.
Yeah.
Like she did. She was
Ripped away
sold
from
off.
her home.
It was crazy. But
However,
she, by every account, she and Suleiman like really, really loved each other, and she loved her life with him.
Okay. Good. Good.
ginger powers.
I'm gonna have you read this.
Okay.
He got to read a love letter. Now you do.
My wife.
I wish I could do this in a Borat voice. I want you to do it in a Borat voice. That'd be
I
great.
don't know if that's appropriate, so I'm
Okay.
not going to do it.
After I put my head on the ground and kiss the soil that your blessed feet step upon, my nation's son and wealth my sultan, if you ask about me, your servant who has caught fire from the zeal of missing you, I am like the one whose liver, in this case meaning heart, has been broiled, whose chest has been ruined, whose eyes are filled with tears, who cannot distinguish any more between night and day, who has fallen into the sea of yearning, desperate, mad with your love. In a worse situation than Ferhat and Majnun, this passionate love of yours, your slave, is burning because I have been separated from you. Like a nightingale whose sighs and cries for help do not cease, I am in such a state due to being away from you. I would pray to Allah to not afflict this pain even upon your enemies, my dearest Sultan. As it has been 1.5 months since I have last heard from you, Allah knows that I have been crying night and day waiting for you to come back home. While I was crying without knowing what to do, the one and only Allah allowed me to receive good news from you. Once I heard the news, Allah knows I came to life once more since I had died while waiting for you. Girl.
She's a much better writer.
Aw. He's just like, you are this. You are this. You're like a sun.
Well, that's
and
why,
the trees.
and like reading it, they're obviously like lines. So
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
it's,
true.
It's clear that it's a poem. That's why I would love to hear it in its native language.
Very true.
I love the whose eyes are filled with tears, who cannot distinguish any more between night and day, who has fallen into a sea of yearning.
I'm so
desperate,
sad I've gone blind.
desperate, mad with your love.
Yep.
When the dick's so
I mean,
good.
it's beautiful, but girl, get a grip.
I'm cold.
She misses him.
Yeah, but I mean, I guess it's just this is how they communicate.
This is the equivalent of I miss my snuggles.
Oh,
Same
Yeah,
thing. Same
it
thing.
is.
I guess that's true because now I'm going aw, and everybody's going aw when they. Yeah.
I'm so alone.
But like, it's just so much
Snugs.
easier. I miss
There's
Snugs.
no one here beside me.
So things are still,
Hot and heavy.
Hot and heavy.
Jinx.
In state affairs, Hurrem was not allowed into the meetings.
Oh.
Okay, not technically. She would watch the meetings through a wire mesh window
What?
She would like sit in
Like in
another little
confessional?
room. Yeah, it would be like a little window between like two rooms, and she'd sit in one room and she'd watch the meetings going on in the other room.
Interesting.
All right.
Almost
So
like
she
a
can't-
confessional, but not sitting in
can't
a
be
creepy
seen,
little
though.
So
booth.
she's sitting courtside.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she's sitting courtside.
sitting
She's watching the whole thing.
That's excellent. She's got floor seats.
Yeah.
Well, and
She can't sit on the bench, but she's right behind the bench.
exactly. So she'd watch these meetings through the wire mesh window, but her seal was allowed on documents, and she'd frequently travel with Sully as his political advisor.
Okay.
So she's known as the only Sultana to ever exchange correspondence with a foreign king. She wrote to express congratulations to the new king of Poland following the death of his father.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
Yeah. And it wasn't just one letter. She wrote like a couple times back and forth with this guy, passing on a message of alliance from Suleiman. Quote, "With the old king we were like brothers, and if it pleases the all-merciful God, with this king we will be as father and son." The influence and reputation of Hurrem spread. She became known as Roxelena and La Rosa.
I've heard. I feel like that's familiar sounding.
It was a loose translation for Ruthenian one. She was as much in the know as anyone else, and when she said shit, people listened.
Damn.
She was never in any official position, but everyone knew that she had the Sultan's ear, and she was as thoughtful as Sully was about like foreign affairs and stuff.
Talking to her is essentially talking to him.
Yeah, red-headed harlot.
That like pretty much knows everything about the Sultan way better than you could ever do.
I may not be in charge, but I'm running this shit.
Yeah, it started at the bottom. Now we're here.
Yes.
That could not have sounded whiter.
I know. I'm well aware.
Can you say the next line?
I saw the instant regret on her face.
Started at the bottom. Now the whole thing here.
Yeah.
I didn't say it like that.
No, it just reminds me of those AIs.
Yes. Oh, yes, I'm sure. Great. That's going in the podcast.
Has zombie Hannah been reincarnated as robot Hannah?
Actually, we did do for one of the last episodes that we did, she accidentally let slip Terry One's real name.
Yeah, you said that in the text.
But you said you weren't going to put it in the podcast.
I'm not going to. I'm gonna beep that out, and then I'm gonna like.
Oh, that's right. And then go Terry.
Yeah, literally, she has a little audio clip that goes Terry 1.
I specifically didn't ask about it because I was sure you wouldn't want it on the podcast.
Yeah.
Just to protect, like I said, they don't
I'm
want
not
it.
gonna say anything.
Been dying to know.
All
It is
right, fine.
all that I have thought about.
I'm sure that's all that keeps you up at night.
It did last night.
Did it really?
No.
After that text, I was like,
you teased him.
I have to know
it's like,
now.
I'm not even going to respond because I know they're not going to tell me until we're all in person. So I'm just going to be cool.
I'm just gonna be cool.
Just take it easy.
Pretend
Just be
you
cool.
don't care.
No, wait till you.
Don't let them know how excited you are.
Yeah.
I am freaking out, man.
Yeah, but once you know, you're gonna be dying to know Terry 2's name after that.
Oh, I want to know Terry 2's name.
And then someday I will let it slip.
You will.
Probably.
I was going to say I could probably figure it out. Once I know one, it's only a matter of time.
Interesting.
Some names just go together. It's psychology.
All right, I'll be interested to hear your theories.
I'm going to go ahead and say I think this person's name goes with Linda.
Not in the way you think, though.
Yeah, different way, but Linda.
His mother's name.
What?
That's his mother's
See?
name.
Is it really?
It's only a matter of
Oh,
time. Psychics
damn.
are bullshit.
All
We're
right,
the
we're
psychics.
circling it.
Tell us, like, one of your
I'm
parents' names.
seeing
We'll
a
guess the other
Linda.
one.
Is there a Linda out there? My mother's name is Linda. I
Confirmation bias.
I'm seeing a K. Is there a Karen?
knew it. My
or
neighbor's
or a
stepson's
Kenny?
dog's name was Scott. Yeah,
Call now for $80 a minute.
literally.
Oh my god.
Jerry.
Jerry.
Anyway,
Okay.
we're back to Hurrem. So there's a little bit of argument about some of her activities, including intentions behind those activities, right? So we will talk about it, but for this next little bit, we're just going to assume that the rumors and the gossip mill that were going around the palace is the place for the most accurate tea of that time.
Ah, yes.
So we're taking it as fact.
Straight
right?
from the mill.
Straight from the gossip mill.
I feel like every sentence should start with, have you heard?
Have you heard? So, have you heard that Mahi Devran's son is Mustafa? And he's pretty much next in line to the Sultancy.
Oh, shit.
And have you heard that his line of power is supported by the vizier of Suleiman, who had been advising the king for at least a decade by this point?
A decade?
Yeah, he had this long-standing support of a very trusted advisor. Yep.
Damn.
And honestly, age is pretty much the thing that determines it. So it was kind of, he was first in line anyway. At the time, and did you hear? What was it? Have you heard? I don't know.
It's okay. You don't have to keep it up.
At the time. Hey.
Over here.
Hey. Have you heard?
Guess what?
What? Hey, kid. You want to buy a sundial?
You want to buy a sundial?
Sorry.
You're not going to believe this shit.
Oh my god. All right. So, at the time, the most common way to take care of any questions of power after the Sultan died was to kill off all the other brothers in order to ensure their own
But
position.
of course.
That's the only logical way to do it.
Exactly.
Murder them all.
I
Good
cannot
God.
pronounce the Turkish word for the life of me, but the translation is literally fraternal massacring.
Wow.
Oh, yes. The fraternal massacre.
Fratricide?
Fratricide, yes. This is done basically to
Why do
avert
you know that?
matricide, patricide,
Yeah.
fratricide is like
There's like a word for
sibling side.
cousins too, I think, but I can't remember.
Yeah.
That was nuts.
He's just like a little scared, I think.
I would have never told that. Lauren said, I can't pronounce it, and my brain went, okay. It moved on.
Well, it's not the Turkish
That's
word.
not the Turkish
No,
word.
I
It
know.
is-
But I just fully moved on. I didn't even care what the English word was.
Yeah, you
But
know.
that's not what I thought it was going to be.
And don't you know you'll learn something every day?
I was being nice when I said that. Now I feel like you're kind of
God.
being a dick.
No, it's
I'm just kidding.
fun. It's funsies.
Oh
That's
my
good stuff.
god. Anyway, so fraternal massacring is done basically to avert civil unrest by allowing the would-be challengers to live.
And upheaval.
Bend the knee or kill you.
Yes.
Got
I'm
it.
still going to kill you because otherwise, then you maybe are in charge.
Sure.
Yeah, the issue was that if they lived, their supporters could rise up in revolution
Man.
against the rightful successor.
Just
So
Game
it
of
was
Thrones all
So
over
it's
again.
just or
it
death.
literally was Game of Thrones. It
Turkish
was just
Game of
easier for
Thrones.
everyone involved to kill all of your brothers and be done with the whole fucking thing. Just done.
With less funding.
Yep, with less funding, exactly. Game of Thrones with less funding, and
Turkish Game
this
of
turned
Thrones.
into a show. It's a Turkish show, and
Ah.
but you can find it on YouTube. The
Hell
whole
yeah.
thing, like this whole story, is a show.
I got to stop fucking calling these things like this.
But it's totally, literally everything that you've ever seen on Game of Thrones. It was in fucking literally. It was part of history, and R.R. Martin just found out and was like, "Cool, I'll throw this in."
Yeah.
We were watching that fucking documentary the other night, and one of the first people they interview within the first like 5 minutes of the doc is somebody they ended up calling father. And he comes into the shot, and I go, "Whoa, look at that meth head!"
Oh.
Not 5 minutes later, they're talking
Was
about
addicted
how-
to meth.
Yeah, they're talking about how he had an ultimatum. He had to stop doing meth to stay in the house with them. And Anakin goes, "Wow, you really called that." I'm like, "Yeah, sometimes I'm really good like that."
You've gotten good at reading people,
And situations.
and yeah, and situations.
And what's entertainable.
I have gotten, I think, over
Yeah.
the years, really good at reading behaviors,
Yeah.
like repeated behaviors and stuff. I can pick up on patterns pretty easily.
Yeah.
Good.
All right, so Hurrem knew that her sons were in the real danger of this happening because when her beloved Sully passed away, Mustafa was going to come and kill all of her kids.
Fuck.
basically except for her one daughter, right?
Yeah.
So in
Maybe.
the 1530s, she built relationships with the right people. She was like, in court, she was doing her political thing. And after Suleiman's vizier made a series of unfortunate mistakes over the course of a few years, Suleiman thought it was wise to have the man executed.
Well, yeah, I'm sure in that advisor's eye, they were unfortunate mistakes, but to the king, it's incompetency.
It's weaponized incompetency, and if you are like, there was a whole thing about like titles, so they literally just, it was like, I don't feel like I want you around anymore. We'll just kill ya.
Love an oligarchy.
So one of the offenses was having himself appointed with a title including the word Sultan in it.
Oh.
So the vizier can't
calling
have
himself-
the title of Sultan. Only the Sultan can have the title of Sultan, or the
can't
Sultana
promote yourself.
can have the...
I'm the vizier sultan. Ha ha! I've done it.
I'm the
Nah, you're dead
vizier
now. I'm
Sultan.
gonna kill ya.
Sultan.
Balls.
Balls.
Benoit. Balls.
Turkey balls.
After the execution, Suleiman struggled for about 8 years to find a new advisor, and he relied mostly on Hurrem's advice during this point.
I'm sure he did.
Ah, yes.
Ah, yes. One of those pieces of advice was eventually to hire their son-in-law to serve as the new vizier.
Okay.
Hurrem's only daughter had married a man that Hurrem believed could be trusted and also go along with what she wanted to have happen, right?
Okay.
Killer combo.
Right. You guys stack that cabinet.
Do what's right, but only if it's what I said to do.
Do what's
Which is
right,
always
but only
right.
if it's good for me.
Yeah.
Right. Correct.
Right. The rumor is that Hurrem and her daughter worked together to make sure that this move happened and secured their family's position in power, basically.
Well, listen, Mom figured it out the first time. She's got to pass down the secret to the daughter.
So Mustafa, for his part, was assigned to a city away from the capital to look over and ruled that area for the rest of his years. And this is where Mahidevran also resided when she had gotten kicked out. He was given an allowance and basically told to wait for his dad to die.
Okay.
He was still first in line for the throne, and he was just fine with that for the time being. And his position was more solidified when his half-brother and one of Hurrem's sons died. Mehmed died in 1543 after contracting smallpox.
Oh, shit.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah, and it really sucked for Sully because Sully much preferred Mehmed to Mustafa.
Wait, you mean parents pick favorites?
Yeah, this one
Shut
did.
up.
Hurrem is rumored to have basically manipulated and little-fingered his way into having the only important people placed around Suleiman to be her own kids and
Keep
her
your
own
little
connections.
fingers away from me.
She literally did the whole, like, I'm just gonna make my little relationships and have my little conversations and my whispers that kind of allow me to
I want my
place
secret
things
now.
right. Exactly.
My blackmail ring.
But Hurrem might also be more well known for her charitable deeds than her international influence. So all of this is happening kind of in the palace, but outside of the palace, all of this is historically like verified. So obviously she never forgot where she came from because she was old enough to remember that she was stolen from her father.
Yeah.
And taken very far away. But even though she was living large on her salary of 2,000 aspers a day, she knew not everyone had the luxuries of money that she did. So she started working on projects to try and make the lives of the least fortunate a little bit better. She used her enormous wealth and power to commission large projects throughout the city. She started with a mosque. When she had been captured, she was a Christian because her dad had been a Christian. And when she was in... I don't remember at what point she converted, but basically by the time they got married, she had converted over to Islam.
I see.
So she started with a mosque, and then she she started building a couple madrasas or Quranic schools. It's like Bible school, but for the Quran.
Right.
She had a fountain built in the, in town square. Then came the Dar al-Shifa, which is a women's hospital near the slave market in the city.
Excellent.
She had commissioned a lot more mosques, a public bathhouse called the Hurrem Sultan Bathhouse for the worshippers at the nearby Hagia Sophia, which is a huge mosque.
Sure is. It's beautiful, too.
But part of it is like being able to bathe and wash yourself.
Yeah.
She had a couple soup kitchens built, one in Jerusalem and one at Makkah or Mecca.
Ah.
And I say this like it's just a casual thing, like it's next door, like I'm building over in Greeley, and then I'm expanding up into like Boulder,
Yeah.
right? So this is the 1550s, and she's opening public soup kitchens like 1,000 and 2,000 miles away from where she lived at the time.
Well,
Yeah, that's pretty big.
Yeah, she made promises, she met her goals, and she spent a lot of money to get them done. But Hurrem and her little manipulations inside the castle aren't quite done yet.
Ah.
So in the late 1540s, it's now being rumored that Mustafa's life is in danger because Hurrem and her son-in-law, Rustem Pasha, were coming after him.
Oh. To seize that power, I'm assuming.
Basically, we'll kill him, and
we're
then
gonna whack you.
we're gonna whack you, and then
God, you can't
my
take a
sons will be the ones in line.
You can't take a step in this place without getting whacked left and right.
Right? It's a
All about power.
Yep.
Dangerous.
Game of Thrones, baby. Game of this one throne.
Yep. You either win or you die.
I didn't ask. to
Literally,
be here.
fraternal massacring. Yes, you win or you die. So the 1550s come around. Mustafa's still in line for the throne, but he fucks up. Rustem Pasha comes over and he's like, hey, join your dad's army. We're going through this thing. We're going to be coming to Constantinople so you can come and see Papa, right? And we're in the neighborhood, so just, pop on up with us. Just join our army. And so he says yes, thinking that this is going to be just like a great adventure and he can help his dad out with all that conquering and shit, right?
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Rustem Pasha is telling Sully that Mustafa is actually coming to try and murder him.
Oh, fuck.
Good old patricide, right?
Which, that's gotta suck to be like, my own kid is gonna kill me.
Well, I mean, he had one of his kids.
to be the king, Papa.
Well, before Mustafa can get his hands on Sully orders his execution.
Yeah.
Put a hit out on your own kid.
Yep.
I'll put
Listen,
a
you
hit
little
on
shit.
you.
And it must have come as quite a surprise to Mustafa, who had no intentions of murdering his dad at all.
He never saw it coming.
He didn't. And it was fucking brutal, too. He was choked to death. So he's like being
that's
choked.
personal.
And his last things are like, why the fuck is this happening?
Why do you think?
Exactly. Well, he didn't. Anyway. Fucking terrible. Anyway, by the time Mustafa dies, Hurrem sealed the fate of her future of the throne. So, like, everyone, her seed
Her seed.
filled her belly with my seed.
Why?
With
Yeah.
my festering seed.
Why?
It's the teacher, the career day.
Oh, yeah. Still,
Yeah.
I always hated that line.
I fucking love that line. That's what makes the whole that whole
It's just
speech
so
just makes the whole skit.
Much.
They stab the bird. This dead bird.
God, it's yeah, we'll have to show that.
Adam Driver is fucking wonderful in
Yeah.
everything he's been in. Anyway,
I digress.
I digress. Let's get back to it. So he was choked to death.
Ouch.
Hurrem has now sealed the fate
An
of
understatement.
her, her kids are now next in line for the throne. But that doesn't go over well with the locals who had supported Mustafa. They thought he was killed a little unfairly. They were like, this kind of sucks. Yeah.
Not cool.
It is true, though. I mean, he shouldn't have been killed. He had no plans of trying to kill his dad.
Oh, so it was all rumor.
Yes.
No, this all...
It was a plant.
Rustem and Hurrem were basically said to have, kind of manipulated this whole thing.
Oh, in order to get this.
the whispers in the right places kind of spread that rumor.
I see.
They're being played against each other.
I see. Okay, I was not on track. Now I'm more on track.
Basically. And so Rustem, the son-in-law, because he was a part of it, he is released from his position as vizier. He's not allowed to be advisor anymore, right?
Yeah.
You're not related to no one. Get the fuck out.
No, he's still the son-in-law.
Yeah, but you're not related by blood. Get the fuck out.
But Hurrem, she went on unscathed. She was still able to sit in on meetings, and basically people kept saying it was partly her fault at the very least. But that was no matter because she still got to sit in those meetings, right?
Who here among us hasn't helped kill a guy? Come on.
Come on.
Get real.
For the rest of her life, she continued to join Suleiman in his affairs of state, helped advise for certain assignments, and loved him until her very last days.
Aw.
In 1558, she got sick and died. It's an unknown illness, but at that point she was like in her 50s and she'd had a bunch of kids.
Every time you say that, there have been so
What?
many times in the show, like, and in this year they died. It's just very matter of fact, very historically, but very just so funny every time. Got sick and died. It's just very unceremonious. I love it.
Sorry, do I need to have a little more heft on those moments?
She
They
did.
died.
You just have a little like play where it goes, yay!
They did.
Or maybe you just go wah wah wah.
There it is.
wah.
Yeah, we'll play that one again.
All right, so
Yeah.
in 1558, she got sick and died.
Ah, yes, from the unknown disease.
Yes.
Because what was science even in the 1550s?
Yeah, it was pretty much
Fucking
just
nothing. It was herbs.
she coughed and then she's dead.
She's got the cheeks. What?
Well, I mean, think about it. They called it the English sweat.
Yeah, right.
You got the sweat.
God.
She's got colloidal fever.
Which doesn't fucking mean anything. Anyway, but it happens. Like, people just died.
She died
You know?
of the shakes.
They died. Right. So she was buried in a beautiful and
Died of the shits, you say?
she shot herself to death.
It was violent and horrific.
I mean, yeah, it would be. Like how Chef died.
Yeah.
On
Well, that
South
happens
Park.
after you die as a result of
I
death.
know, but it was
Yeah.
still violent
Yeah,
and
he didn't
unnerving.
shit himself to death.
Speaking of, have you guys seen Swiss Army Man?
No.
Oh my good lord. So this is Paul Dano and Daniel Radcliffe.
I remember hearing this or seeing it advertised.
Paul Dano is stranded on an island. He wakes up and realizes his ship has crashed, and he's the only survivor.
Okay.
And he's like, "Fuck, I don't want to live anymore." So he's trying to kill himself. This is all within the very first minute, so I'm not spoiling anything.
What
but
could
he's
have
trying
been
to kill
an
himself.
entire movie.
He finds a dead body on the shore, and it's farting.
Huh.
And he's like, "Huh." So he takes his belt and he wraps it around the dude's neck.
Go on.
I'm trying to find the funny.
He rides the man's farts all the way to shore. And the man that is dead, that is farting his way to shore, is Daniel Radcliffe. And the whole movie is literally about this dead body, this corpse that is decaying in different ways, but has automatic muscle reactions that happen to be basically a Swiss Army knife, but a human.
Oh my
So
god.
he
As he
is
finds his way
able
back
to
to
yes,
shore.
he's finding his way back to shore and then to civilization. And there's this whole narrative. And then meanwhile, the dead corpse is also kind of becoming conscious and trying to figure out what is life, because he doesn't know, right?
This is like the
And
weirdest version of Life of Pi.
I cannot recommend this movie enough. It is
Interesting.
absolutely one of my favorites. I will watch it over and over again.
I like
I
Daniel Radcliffe.
haven't
I'll
seen
check
it
it
in
out.
at least a year. I need to watch it again.
I hope it's not a comedy and it's so serious.
It's so funny, but it's meant as a drama. The moments are never nobody's ever laughing at the
Right,
moments. They
right,
never
right,
recognize them. It's
They
just funny
should.
to us.
Yeah, right. Yes, exactly.
Yes,
All right.
which is a wonderful thing. And then at the end, there's literally just it's also kind of this spiritual journey where you're at the end you're kind of rooting for this dead body. You're like, damn, okay,
Oh, when you said
It's-
spiritual journey, I'm like, again, weird version of Life of
a little
Pi.
bit great, yeah.
Yeah.
It's about what is existence.
We're
you
all
know,
growing.
We're all growing, except for the Swiss Army man. He's decaying.
Well,
everybody poops.
his consciousness is growing.
No. His
More
heart
are
grew
coming.
3 sizes that day
Yeah, exactly.
and then exploded.
His colon grew 3 sizes. that
If
day.
the
Well, he corks up the ass so that he doesn't waste the farts, and
Well,
then
of
he
course.
can control them.
Yeah, as you do.
Yeah.
Why didn't I think of that?
Water comes down into his mouth, and then he's just a nice reservoir of water so that he can have some drinking water when he needs it.
Ew.
It's great. I cannot recommend this movie
not
enough.
drinking water.
I cannot recommend it enough. Anyway,
All right, I gotta check it out.
so, anyways, Hurrem she's buried. She's put in this lavishly decorated mausoleum that's
Of course.
designed just for her. Sully, for his part, he lives another 12 years, and on his death in 1566, Hurrem and Suleiman's son Selim II ascended to the throne.
Okay.
This is like the third boy.
All
I
right.
think. No one really had ever believed that he would be sultan. He
he's
hadn't
number
gotten
3.
the training for it,
good
right?
thing she had 3 of them.
Yep. But he wasn't really trained for it. He was one of them middle ones, right? And he wasn't fitted to the task. In fact, until his death in 1574, Selim was known as Selim the Drunk.
Oh, and he lived to be like 20, 40-ish, 40,
Yeah,
20,
well,
70.
I think he was like in his 40s by the time he came
Right.
to power. But then, yeah, he drank himself to death like 8 years later.
You do not want to
you
be
know?
known as, like, insert
Selim the
name
Drunk?
here, the drunk.
Yeah. Yeah.
True.
So that's the story of Hurrem. She was
Wow,
taken.
that's all. That's how we ended. That was
That's
great.
it. Yep.
I love ending on a booze bag. Nice.
Not on a booze.
She was taken from her family at a super young age. Her beauty and her kind demeanor allowed her to get to like one of the most sought after positions in the entire Middle East, and then she was able to manipulate her way into
She's
her
gotta be
sons
smart to do
becoming
that.
the most powerful people.
And
She
her-
definitely was
the
also smart.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, she
Oh, for
had
sure.
to be to get there.
But I just love that the son who preceded her died, presumably in a pile of his own piss.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
That is incredible.
That was a perfect way to lighten the mood after our main character died. That was great. Thanks.
Yep. You're welcome. I also just thought it would be a nice little fun fact of like,
Yeah.
you got to know what happened next,
Yes,
and
it's-
it was not a good reign, like especially compared to his dad's legacy. He fucking ruined it, man.
What's the little kid in Game of Thrones who jumps out of the window?
That is because it was Joffrey. Then it was. I'm so
I
mixed
don't
up.
fucking
wanted to
know.
say
It's a
Pippin,
li-
but I
it's
know
the
that's
little
not
one. Yeah.
No.
Kevin?
No, that was the uncle.
Bueller?
No. God, what is it?
Pippin?
Because there was.
Pepper?
What is the daughter's name? And then Tommen.
Tommen. Yes. Okay. Tommen.
Yes,
Yeah, he jumps
yes,
out the window.
Literally. Not even really a jump. He just kind of walks off the window.
Yeah, he just steps.
leans.
He doesn't even lean. He just walks off like he's continuing off a sidewalk.
Yeah.
Mommy, they killed my wife. You killed her. Nah. Bye.
One of the best musical pieces and musical scenes in all of TV history, in my opinion.
I remember watching it
everything
live,
about it. Oh my
Watching it
god.
live with my friends, and all the boys were like, "Do it, pussy!" And he goes on.
I'm so excited for season 2 of House of the Dragon next year.
It's gonna be good.
Yeah.
It's
Is it trying to do the universe better than the way that they left it at the end of Game of Thrones?
I mean, I like the universe that they've put it in. I think they're doing a good job with it.
yeah, they're telling their own story.
Jesus Christ.
Some people really
Yes,
need
we have
everyone
plenty
to know.
of tiny dicks around here. Just
they
so
want
you
you
know.
to
Whoa! Just talk for your own dick.
What about okay. Come on.
Don't say we and then have tiny dicks. And expect
No,
me to
I'm
just
talking-
Let you say it.
Talking about your neighbors that live in the neighborhood and have big ass, like obnoxiously loud engines.
Just because I know that's what you meant doesn't mean I can let you just say that. Just taken out of context, it means
It's a
something
respect
entirely
thing.
different.
Fair. Okay. Rescind.
Respect the dick.
Thank you. Well,
Did I take it too far?
I wanted to say lawyered, and then I
well,
was like, how do I say that as like duded?
once
No,
again,
dicked. No, wait,
I
that's
did
wrong.
not say it.
No.
That's all that matters. All that matters is that I didn't say it.
I understand. I get it.
Yeah.
I think.
I don't think I get it.
No, I don't know.
I'm still missing
Well, if
the
I
point.
say it, I'm a misogynist. If she says it, it's just funny.
Ah.
Yeah. Respect the dick. I can't say that. I can't.
No, that's true. He can't. I said it for.
It's a pretty aggressive
It is.
statement.
Yeah. That's what makes it funny when I say it.
It's fine. You can have it.
Whatever.
Well, that's been a
Not that-
fucking.
never mind.
Oh wait, no, it's not been a fucking podcast. Hold on, what was it?
I'll talk about it later. It's
Okay.
been a fucking podcast. Thanks for tuning in. Catch us on the socials.
Yes, Well Behaved Women Podcast or Well Behaved Women Pod at any socials, mainly TikTok, Reddit, Facebook,
Yep.
and
Instagram. We
Instagram, thank
post
you. That was
there,
the
yeah.
other main one.
Nice.
All right.
Well.
See you next week.
Bye.
Bye.
Peace. Ta-ta for now.